Hi, this is Julie Hutchinson with Core Performance, and today we're talking about the 5 strategies to combat distraction and finally complete your to-do list. So we're talking about these techniques to combat distraction because it seems to affect a lot of us these days. As a matter of fact, you probably won't even get to the end of this presentation, at least not without being distracted. And I say that because studies have shown that the average attention span is down from 12 seconds in the year 2000 to just 8 seconds now. 8 seconds is our attention span. Now, you might have seen these stats on Time Magazine, Telegraph, Guardian, USA Today, New York Times, National Post. The challenge is that we get distracted a lot. So let me give you an example. Like maybe you're finally ready to start working on something very important. And you sit down, you're ready to just put your time and attention in it. And all of a sudden you hear this ping from an inbound email. And it pulls you away. And then you read the email, and then all of a sudden you're like, I need to check some of my social feeds. I'm going to see what's going on there. I'm going to check the weather. I'm going to check the news. And then you get a hit of inspiration. And then that inspiration, it drives you into this spontaneous action. And then you go do the action, and then you're like, you know what, I'm kind of hungry. I think I'm going to go grab something to eat. And then you think, oh, I forgot to put that load of laundry in. I'm going to go put some laundry in. And then you put the laundry in, and you're like, oh, I forgot to water those plants. Oh, I forgot to pull that out of the freezer for dinner. And then all of a sudden you're doing all these spontaneous actions. And then you get back to your desk, and you're like, oh man, I am so far behind. Okay, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do this project right now. And then you get a ping from your boss. You're like, oh, I have to answer that. And then you get distracted because your boss asked you to do something else. And now hours have gone by and you're like, I haven't gotten done what I really needed to get done. And you're just like, oh my gosh, okay, I know I can do this. Why can't I ever get this stuff done? Oh my gosh, it's already late and I have this other meeting that's coming up. When am I going to have time to do this? I'm going to have to work tonight. And then you use time as a cheat. And we use time as a cheat because we think, oh, we'll do it later at night. And then we work later at night. And then we get mad because now we can't spend time with our families. And we're on this hamster wheel. And we're like, you know what? I'm just going to go eat chocolate. It'll make me feel better. I'll just eat some chocolate and I'll feel better. And then you're back on the hamster wheel again. Why can't I ever get things done? I get so distracted all the time. And it just goes on and on. We're almost like a merry-go-round. So it's like your mind is constantly caught between these modes of wanting to focus, but never being given a chance to focus. Does that sound familiar? Any of you guys ever do that? So here's the challenge. When we shift attention throughout the day, it literally is linked to stress and lower productivity. Did you know that on average, people check their emails 74 times a day? 74 times a day. And after each of those email checks, when we return to another task, it takes additional time to reorient ourselves to that task. Now, this is known as an interruption cost. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think your interruptions are costing you? What do you think your interruptions are costing you? And what I mean is by costing you in lost productivity, maybe lost revenue, maybe lost relationships because you keep interrupting being totally and completely present with a person. Perhaps your interruption costs are costing your mind to race and think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fired because I never can get this stuff done. I might get fired. Oh my gosh, what if I get fired? That's an interruption cost because your mind is going. Maybe it's costing you your sleep. Maybe it's costing some health challenges. Just notice what these interruptions are costing you. So I'm going to dive into the 5 strategies. And before I do, I want to share a story with you to kind of really bring this home of how good these work. So I'm going to share a story about my client, Sheila. So when Sheila first came to me, she's like, my mind races constantly. I'm worried about that I don't get things done. But then when I sit down to get things done, I keep getting interrupted. I keep getting distracted here and distracted there. And I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried to meditate. I've tried exercising. I've tried medications to keep my mind focused, all of which worked to a certain extent, but didn't really give her the repeatable process and put a technique in place to finally combat all those distractions, to get her productivity and her focus up. So what we did is we helped Sheila build her level of resilience. Now, what I mean by that is resilience is the capacity to prepare for and recover from particularly stressful events. So capacity, what I mean is that usually when I start working with somebody, their capacity for resilience is about like this. And we start to build the level of capacity like this, which means that you can handle interruptions and get back very quickly. It means that what used to stress you out doesn't stress you out as much anymore. So after Sheila was able to increase her capacity, she was able to hold her focus more. She was able to block those distractions, and her increase in productivity went up by about 40%. So I'm going to share with you some of the techniques that we shared with her to help you combat that distraction as well. So number one, carve out blocks of time to complete tasks. And I would recommend you do this in 50-minute cycles. So for this presentation, I'm going to keep talking about 50-minute cycles, but I'm also going to inspire you that if 50-minute cycles are too long for you, maybe you want to do 15-minute cycles or 20-minute cycles. Just start somewhere, because what we're doing is we're building our willpower and we're winning. So what I mean is get your phone out, put on a timer for 50-minute cycles. Now, when you do that, you've carved out this time, meaning you've got nothing else coming in during that time. You should be free of all distractions. That means no phone, put your phone on airplane mode. It means no email, no YouTube, no Instagram, not even speaking to a coworker. It needs to be sacred time. And I recommend that when you block out these times is that you put your highest priority work first, because it's that highest priority that takes our attention away, because we know we have so much to do. Get those big things that are really high priority out of the way. Now, this is your time to drop into flow. When you knock out these biggest tasks, you want to drop into flow. So you block out your calendar, turn off all distractions. I also call this bunkering in. So you may have seen some other videos that are further down in here that talk about bunkering in. You're bunkering in, meaning you have your water, you've gone to the restroom, you have everything you require so that you don't get up. So block those times out. I like to say, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. I put a lot of things on my calendar, these sacred times, so that if it's there, I know I will do it. Number two, exercise throughout the day. Now, what this means is not just, getting really sweaty and hot and doing a whole exercise routine. What I mean is move your body. What I love to do is in the middle of the day, if I've got a 15-minute block, I'll go for a walk outside, just around the block, just to get my body moving, just to feel that energy flowing through my body. Now, for some of you, you might say it's too darn cold where I live. I'm not going to go out for a walk right now. That's okay. Do some jumping jacks, do 20 push-ups. If you can't do 20 push-ups, do 3 at a time and keep building. Move your body, do some squats, do some yoga. When we do this, there's been a lot of studies on this that show that like a short walk or a short burst and just getting some activity in, it makes people significantly better at thinking and focusing and being able to concentrate. So build in some little exercise routines during the day. Number 3, set clear goals with accountability, meaning that you create a list of goals that will keep you accountable for what you're going to accomplish. So when we set that list of goals and we have accountability, it cuts down the distractions. So you might say in this 50-minute segment, what I'm going to complete is X, Y, Z. Now, of course, you want to write down goals that you can complete. That's not too far out of the way, because you want to build that winning muscle and get that feeling of I got it done. So the other thing that I recommend is accountability. Have an accountability partner. I personally have two. I have two that I work with every single week. And as I'm working with those accountability partners, there's something that happens. So one of my accountability partners will be on Zoom together, and we have an hour and a half blocked out. And this is just sacred time that we're there to get certain things done. And we say to each other, this is what I will accomplish in the next hour and a half. And then every 30 minutes, we check in with each other. So we turn off the volume and we turn off the video, but then we hold each other accountable and come back every 30 minutes. And there's something that happens when you know you have a partner there and you're committed not just to yourself, but you're committed to them as well. So can you find an accountability partner that will help you minimize distractions because you're being held accountable by somebody else? Number 4. Ramp up your focus through resilience. Ramp it up through resilience. Now, what I mean by that, I talked a little bit earlier about the capacity. So when we talk about distractions in our space, what I'm also talking about is distractions in your head, literally distractions in your head, because let's say maybe you just got into an argument with maybe your spouse or a boss or a coworker. And you sit down to focus and get some things done. But then this thought creeps in of, I can't believe they said that to me. Why did they say that to me? That makes me so mad. I am so angry. And you just keep having these thoughts come in. That's distraction. That lowers your level of resilience. And it also does something inside of your physiology. Meaning that, think about it, when you're upset with somebody or you think somebody's upset with you, you kind of feel that nervousness in your body or that frustration in your body. You can feel that. It literally affects how your brain works. So by building resilience, it's where we're literally aligning our emotional state with how we're thinking, which helps to align the autonomic nervous system. Now, what I mean by that is you get the feeling like if you're going to sit down for a 50-minute segment and you've got goals, come into those feeling confident. So you're ramping up your resilience, right? You're coming in like, I'm confident I can get this done. I know I can. I believe in myself and I believe I can make this happen. I've got all the tools to bunker in. It will happen. You're feeling that and you've got your mindset in alignment with your goals. So now you're building your level of resilience. So number 5 is ability to suppress spontaneity. Have the ability to suppress spontaneity. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is resist the urge to indulge in spontaneous behavior. So that means you could be working, oh, I'm stuck, I can't figure this out. I think I'll check my text messaging. I think I'll just go to one of my social channels real quick. I'm just gonna check the weather. Wait, I really want to see what's happening in that news story. Resist that urge. Another big one is, I just need a little piece of chocolate or a little bite of something to give me energy to get through this. Resist that urge. They don't contribute to your goals. So when you resist those, you build your willpower. When you build your willpower, you're building the ability to move through these blocks that you may be facing. Resist that spontaneity urge, move through the blocks. Now, what I want to share with you is that all spontaneity isn't bad. After all, creativity is spontaneously inspired when we're on purpose. What I'm referring to is the key is to let the creative spontaneity emerge after you had a period of deep focus. Don't use it to lose your focus. Use it after you've gotten into deep focus, when you're already in the flow. So I hope that these tips are helpful in your battle against combating distraction. If you'd like a little bit more information, check out the webinar that I'm going to put below. It's the 5 steps to biohack your physiology. to reduce stress, burnout, and produce up to 40% more even when you're sitting at your desk. There's some really cool tips in there. So watch that webinar. You'll get some more tips on this. Also, if you have any comments about maybe you tried the bunker in or blocking off the 50 minutes, you've resisted the urge to be spontaneous to pull you out of that session, post it at the bottom. I'd love to hear how you're using these, and then you're going to inspire other people in this group as well. So share and comment on that. Okay, I hope that these have helped you, and we will see you on the next Facebook Live. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.